guitar, you know, which one are you going to choose? Well, the one that you sound like. How do you change and edit accents? That's actually pretty quick and easy to do. So let me just go to pattern 13, which is empty at the moment. So let's record something. Okay, so on purpose I put this one in loud. I put that as accented. If I didn't want that accented, I've got that as like standard velocity right now, so I can just push that, and that snare is going to be the same velocity. If I think afterwards, actually I want both of those accented, sure, push the accent button, there. The same on the kick. So if I wanted that one accented, there, and now they're both accented. So pretty quick and easy to do. And I certainly think with the when you're playing around with dynamics, you know, that's what makes music relatable, is, you know, it's the rhythms and the dynamics. So play around with dynamics, play around with swing and the randomness, just to give it that human feel. What are the main differences between the Impact and the first standard edition? Just curious, I have the original and love it. I'm very glad that you love it. I spend a lot of time on the original DrumBrute, playing around with it. I think I sort of touched on that with the first question, is that really the main differences are the sound. They do sound different. We didn't want to make like a smaller cut down version of the DrumBrute. We wanted to make a version that has its own character. Again, that's why you might have a Hagstrom guitar and you might have a Fender guitar, because they're both guitars, but they do feel different and they do sound different. And it also depends on your application. So if you're wanting to play around with taking the individual outputs, running them through external processors, DrumBrute is a lot of fun for that. If you've got a client coming in and you just want to put together a beat very, very quickly that's punchy, DrumBrute Impact might be the one for you. So it really depends on the purpose. They both certainly have their place. So it's like asking who's your favorite child. It's like, hey man, I dig them both. They're both pretty cool. Question 5: can it be run off an external battery like the Microfreak? This is a good question because I do get this asked quite a lot, and the answer is no, because it's fully analog. It needs a 12-volt power supply. It's circuitry running through this. It's analog circuitry. The Microfreak has got digital oscillators, and that doesn't draw too much power. Microfreak, as I think you're implying, can be run off a phone battery pack. You can just connect it via USB to your computer and you're all ready to go. So no, it can't, and it couldn't. It's analog. That's a cool thing about analog. The output of the DrumBrute Impact is line level, right? Would it actually need a preamp? Well, in the setup that I've got right here, I've got this taken straight into the AudioFuse Studio. So I'm using just the 3 channels here, and then I've got my Violet Design microphone coming into input 4. I'm just plugging that straight in. Having used it live, generally just going straight into any mixer or PA does the job. So it depends what, you know, the setup. You might want to have like a DI box if you've got lots of things running on stage, but no, generally just plug it in and you're ready to go. And if you don't hear any noise, you're good. The output level of this is loud, so you don't need to boost it, because, you know, it's definitely loud enough. Distortion circuit based on the Boss DS1. Oh, well, I mean, how many distortion pedals have ever been made? I like the question because it does have that DS1 sound to it. However, the DS1 wouldn't function the same as this as the distortion on this, because just the frequency range of the DrumBrute Impact is so much more than a guitar. So I guess it kind of, I mean, you know, some people say that it sounds a bit like the Metal Zone as well. It's kind of got that rat sound as well, where you almost get like additional harmonics in there. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's been influenced by things, but we've kind of made our own thing. Question 9. When using the random knob, the velocity is all over the place. How can we fix that? That became very noticeable in the demonstration I gave earlier, and that was just because my levels were set totally at random places. You know, if you've got a cowbell coming in every now and then, it kind of sits quite well. However, if you're pushing the cowbell every other note or every other step, it's going to become a little bit annoying. So the thing is just to play around with the level, the mixer section at the bottom, and bring it all in. Next question 10. Thanks for all the questions. Keep them coming. We've got a few minutes left. What is that violet pedal called? Yes. So I am a huge fan of pedals. I've actually got quite a lot of them lying around behind me out of view. This is the Eventide Rose, which came out January last year. They announced it. It's a guitar pedal, but it works very, very well on synthesizers, on drum machines. It just gives it a very nice flavor. It's just like a very sweet, almost not noticeable delay to a full like tape echo delay. So if you turn the delay about there, turn the feedback up, you can actually ride the delays in real time. It's an awesome box for just run anything through it. That's why the DrumBrute Impact and the DrumBrute itself is like, yeah, it's a standard drum machine. It sounds epic, but when you really want to start playing around and freaking things out, then take it through this. The other pedals I've got here are the Empress effects. They do a delay unit, which is nuts. I usually run synth through that. They do a great reverb. Obviously Strymon make awesome stuff. So yeah, check out the Eventide Rose, check out the Empress effects. I think they are both very nice. And also the microphone I'm using is also violet in color. It's by the company called Violet. It's the Violet Design Amethyst, which is pretty juicy. So that's it from me. Really, as a summary, you know, if you've never thought about using a drum machine, you're used to programming beats in FL Studio and Ableton, and that's cool, but just the joy of not looking at a computer screen when you're making music is just so inspiring, and you can create stuff that you just wouldn't, even if you don't know what you're doing. You know, as long as you put the kick on the one, then you can play around with the different settings and the different steps. Everything connects to the computer by the MIDI control center. So if you're in Norway at the moment and you create a cool beat and you're like, hey Brian, let's do something with this, you can just send that to me. You can just send me the the file from the MIDI control center. I can import it into my DrumBrute, or this batch of trip hop presets that I've made. I can just put them on the MIDI control center. I can edit them as well. So pretty much anything that I've done here, adding swing, the positioning left and right, whatever else, accenting notes, I can do that all from the MIDI control center as well. So check it out. I've done a tutorial series of these. If you want to learn more, from the absolute basics to the more advanced things. Drum machines are cool. They've always been cool. It's so small, it's portable, fits into a backpack, and yeah, check it out. So, we've got another question. Can you record the decay parameter in the sequence? So this isn't automated because it is fully analog. So if this was digital, you'd be able to actually record movement and then play it back. The reason we didn't add that is we wanted to keep it fully analog. You know, we didn't want to sacrifice anything to take it away from the analog power. So what you can obviously do is tweak these in real time and then record what you've got. Yeah, sample that. A lot of the hip hop guys are using this, especially the kick. Like a lot of the modern hip hop stuff you're using, they're sampling this kick. Just because it's like so beefy and you don't really get that from like sample packs or digital stuff. So yeah, you can't actually record in the movements, but a lot of the stuff does send MIDI information out, so you can use this as a control surface if you wanted to use this to control battery or addictive drums or whatever you're using. You can play it on here and then use it to trigger from that way. So I think that's it for me. I hope everyone is staying safe and feels a little bit inspired. We've got some crazy good deals on at the moment at arturia.com. A lot of the virtual instruments and effects and everything else is on a sale. We've got free trial software as well, so if you want to go try out Analog Lab or Pigments or some of the other bits, go try them out. Yeah, and check out DrumBrute Impact. We've got some nice pictures of the connection points at the back on the website. So yeah, just stay home, make music. Thank you very much for your time. I hope everyone's keeping safe and we can all get back to normal soon. But yeah, for now, enjoy the beats.